I'm now going to give you an old-fashioned Sunburst. These are what they used to put on the old flintlocks guns, and it's quite an interesting little design really for the learners really to put on a little article. So if you notice the way we are doing these long beams, shall we call them, they're supposed to be beams of light, so we get them so they can equal space like so, and as we go down we don't necessarily need to have that space because it will come out at more of an angle like that. You see, you can put them all around, but it gets a little bit awkward. So here we go, it's like this. So we have these here, and as it comes down, I say it gets a little wider if you get a little bit flatter here, and they get shorter. So we have them like so here, and then you decide what you're going to put at the base. So if there was a flat line here, so we do this. So you could either just leave it like that, or you could just make a flower, a petal effect or something like so here. You understand with the pencil drawing it's not fine at the moment, so we'll do this. We could put another to make it interesting, you see. So now you've got something this shape. You find them on the back of Colt Navy pistols and any of the old-fashioned guns where they have this little shell-like effect. So now we have this line going up here. You can go so. Right. Now we will make, shall we call it a dog tooth? So you'll cut in here, do these cuts like so. Up here, the zigzag line, you see. So there's a dog tooth, almost like a saw blade coming here, you see. Here, and so you take it out like this, and equal spacing, getting smaller as you go to the top here. And so it like so, you see. Now we try it on the other side. So you would have had that movement here. Now you're going to come in here, you see. So now you're forming a pathway through here, like this. You're cutting this. You can cut your graver down this way and that way, and then you form these little chevrons. Okay, so now we cut this here, and this one here, like so, all the way up. So you can get in narrow as it goes, and the neater you do it, the better it looks. But of course this is just a pencil drawing. I've got a large pencil here that's giving you this effect. So here we go again. We'll start on this one. The same again. You start your dog tooth, your saw blade. So here, so here. You keep these nice here. Keep them so they don't touch here, you see. So they just need to come in halfway up through this here. Like see, this would have been so. So now we're cutting here. We're doing that one and that one. We'll go back onto this one. We do something here maybe. Then we go here again, and here, 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 and form it up there. You see. So this is these sunbursts were put on French guns. It's beautiful in gold with a nice Damascene look about it, or a nice inlay, gold inlays. It's an effective motif. So we're going through here. It's taking a little time. And on the old flintlock guns, you would find these. I just spotted one today. The gun was about a 200-year-old gun. And it had the engraving like I'm teaching now. A good quality English open scroll. It was an eye-opener, really. 200 years old. It had been through the wars a bit. You know, it was a little bit rusty and a few things have faded. But you could see the quality of the engraving. And I wondered how much the guys would have got for it in those days. You know, when a pound, you could have £1 a week and live fairly well off it. That would be a gold sovereign, maybe. So it was around about the 1830s, 1840s, this gun itself. The engraving stood up to the test of time. It was superb open work. But I suppose it was classified as a run-of-the-mill type of engraving from the workshop. The gun maker came in, said, can you do this on the gun? It was a quality gun. And that always brings to mind the cutting that lasts, even with the oxidization and the rusting and a few knocks. This thing, you know, I suppose it would be, to some people's mind, the gun itself was not really working because it was a pin fire, and then it went to centre fire conversion, and then I suppose it was going to go on, as the man said, on the rubbish tip. But as a work of art, and as you guys, as an engraver, to look at the quality of the old-fashioned engravers, it was a sin to throw it away, you know. Wow. It's an engraver's museum piece. It was showing you, you know, what we are aiming for now. And you think about it, in those, when it was done, these engravers were producing the work and scroll work. They're thousands of years old, and we're still using it now. And to see this work and thinking, well, 200 years ago, and now I'm teaching you guys this same type of work, you know, is timeless. How many other things, you know, we have all the modern art coming and all of our various art forms coming, but a lot of it would look wrong on a gun and on a weapon somehow, whereas this scroll work, traditional, and as I say, with tattoos, it looks good on the tattoo, you know, it's timeless as an abstract form, and it fits onto anything. So there we are. We got the actual Sunburst itself, you see. I'm making sure I don't slip out of the vision. So now we do the shading. So you come back in here with a shading, you see. And it would be like that. It gets darker as it comes down here, you see. So you get this. The pencil itself doesn't really give the fine enough line. But you see, I'll put an artificial or just a very indistinct line around here to give you the areas to shade from, you see. So now, if you do this and that, if you think of this being in a recess on a gun, back like that, you see, and then you take this again here and that and so forth and give it a go. It's a good exercise to get used to your engraving tool. What we would have done, we would have put the graver in here as we were going along here, and we would push it to the side and cut, and then push it out again. So it's a scoop out type of thing. But because you're twisting the graver over, it forms this little chevron, this small diamond shape here, you see. And these were done, you know, fast, because a silver engraver would have done the same sort of thing with the bright cut, and they look good, bright cuts. Or this would look, it would dazzle in the sunshine or in candlelight. That's what these bright cuts were for, because you dined with candles and all your cutlery had these, your silver dishes had a bright cut on them, so they sparkled like diamonds. That's what it's all about. And of course, if you're in the Wild West and the sun's shining, you don't want fine scroll on your pistols or your various other things. You want it to be seen and sparkle in the sunshine. So there we are. You see, it's got this effect. You could shade this down here just to get a final look about it. So you could go around the flower here, or you could just have a round circle there. You see, it's according to how you want to finish. And so if we're doing this again, porcupine, do the old porcupine, get your strokes. As I mentioned, with this pencil, I'm doing it fairly rapidly. If I was to do it with a graver, you'd do it beautifully, all nice cuts and that. See, I'm dragging it towards me, where you can't do that with a graver. You've got to push, you've got to turn your work and go this way into it and cut into there, you see. People do backshade, they cut there and go the other way, but it's not so, it's not worth it. You may as well turn it round and go into it like this, you see. And yeah, but if it's with a cut that starts fine and ends steeply, you'll get that nice dark area around here, you see, and whatever you want to put in here. But that's just a little exercise on a sunburst. Give it a try as an exercise of how to use a graver. See you soon.